It's time to get a grip on your vulnerabilities. This episode is about mitigating the vulnerabilities that lie beneath big reactions. So for the purpose of our discussion, a vulnerability is anything that negatively affects your ability to respond positively to a situation. Specifically, vulnerabilities are the things within you and or the environment at a given moment that set you up for failure in some way. They fall into 4 categories, so let's take a look at those. The first one is physical, such as injury or illness, fatigue, being hangry, being in an altered state of mind due to drug or alcohol use, things like that. The second one is emotional, such as having intense negative feelings like sadness, fear, guilt, shame, self-loathing, anger, you name it. The third one is psychological, such as the influence of past experiences, particularly those from your upbringing that trigger your self-limiting beliefs and negative automatic thoughts. The fourth one is environmental, such as stressful things going on around you, like noise, heat, busyness, overstimulation, or distraction of some kind. So when we process incoming information in the context of these vulnerabilities, it often results in us taking things personally, which generates defensiveness. As we discussed last time, nothing is personal. Now, we've all seen the Snickers commercials where someone is hangry and acts completely out of character, right? Then they eat a Snickers candy bar and it's like they undergo an immediate personality transplant. Being hungry creates agitation, which is a vulnerability that can affect your response to incoming stimuli. Another example would be if you are out in the heat and your fuse is shorter. So you overreact and bark at your kids about something small, such as them just being kids in some way. Besides having a Snickers to offset being hangry, there are other things you can do to mitigate vulnerabilities. Essentially, anything you can do to set yourself up for success in communicating or responding calmly and diplomatically is a mitigation technique. It all comes down to one mantra: check yourself. So before you respond to someone or something in your realm, I want you to check yourself in these ways. So for physical, do a scan of yourself from head to toe to see how you're feeling physically. If you're agitated or altered, just delay responding until you get things under better control. Sometimes that could be minutes, sometimes it could be hours, it could be a day, whatever. For emotional, run through your Rolodex of feelings in the moment to see what stands out. If your feelings are primarily negative, ask for time to defuse yourself and come back to the issue later. Just make sure you come back to it. For environmental, evaluate what's going on around you. If there's a lot of external stimuli and that's revving up your central nervous system, remove yourself from the situation and then try to address the issue. And for psychological, this one is the most challenging for a lot of people because they don't even realize they're responding out of their past experiences. When someone or something has you fired up, stop and ask yourself what influences from your past might be at work in the present. For instance, maybe your spouse's snarky behavior reminds you of the way your dad would talk to your mom before he started verbally or physically abusing her. A therapist is a great resource to help you figure out what lies beneath, attack those issues, and create a better, more productive response set to the challenges in your life. Listen, nobody's perfect, and everyone has a bad day now and then, but it's not fair to take out our issues on those around us. It's important that we learn to practice mindfulness before responding by doing an assessment of vulnerabilities and mitigating them as best we can in the moment, or deciding to come back later once the dust has settled within us and try again. If you screw up, don't give up, okay? As I said last time, you've been doing things your way for decades at this point. You're not going to have all of your issues resolved and be an awesome vulnerability mitigator by next week or even next month, okay? Give yourself some grace. When you falter, dust yourself off and try again. Meanwhile, make amends where needed. An apology and a concerted effort to try again go a long way. If you want some help dealing with personalization and other negative automatic thoughts, check out my $7 class. I'll drop that in the caption for you. See you next time.